like I said, kind of a little bit more of a lighthearted show. We're getting business out of the way first tonight. We posed a question to you guys earlier this week.
We did.
It's something that's really been weighing on me this season. Not in a bad way. I want to clarify really quickly. It's not in a bad way. You know, we've always said if you're feeling burned out, take a break from the grind. It's okay. Earlier this week on our Twitter account, we asked a question for our Guardian followers. What are other games you're playing right now? Are you still grinding out Destiny, or are you taking a break? And I want to read some of y'all's responses first, because I think that Corey and I are both on the same wavelength as y'all. So the first one that we got, of course, you know, who better to start out with than Andre? I think I've hit a burnout for Destiny. I still keep up with the story, but after reset, I don't really grind it out like I used to. Just not a whole lot to work with, and PvP is just PvP. I'm really enjoying Cyberpunk a lot lately. Cameron wrote in and said, definitely still grinding Destiny, but Elden Ring pulls me away for a few times a week. Clancy 5000, Destiny is all I currently play. I try and find time for Destiny every day alongside alongside life and work commitments. But the pinnacle grind alongside the current state of weapon RNG and crafting means it's like a second job. Then there's the pull of soloing dungeons, etc. I love D2, listening to podcasts, watching YouTube, scrolling Twitter. I get FOMO when I see streamers crafting god rolls. I need to learn to accept that I may not end up getting to that point this season. I think the game is asking a bit much of late, but I love every damn minute. And I think we had one more. RushJet TV, always on the grind, but much slower this season than previous ones. Just a good time to check out other things while keeping D2 in the back burner. Or on the back burner, excuse me. I agree with basically everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Clancy, I'm sorry. I feel like you're kind of the outlier here, and there's nothing wrong. There's totally nothing wrong.
Why are you still playing, Clancy?
Yeah, this is you're the A1 Johnny right now in the responses. John grinds it more than anybody that I know, and that's not a bad thing at all. I've always said that, like, Destiny for me is my main game, and I play other things around it.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel like the last couple months really the last 2 months, I've kind of shifted away. Like, I was all in on Witch Queen. I hit that. But the seasonal story only being 4 weeks last season was such like a relief for me.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I could take time after I was going for about the first month. And then I took my vacation, and coming back from vacation, I was like, man, I just went away from Destiny for like 8 days. I don't feel like I have to go crazy with it now. I still played some, and I want to be really clear. Like, I'm still logging in on reset day. I'm getting the story done so I don't get spoiled. I'm probably hanging out in PvP on the weekends a little bit with my friends, but I am over doing 2 resets to get a fucking weapon ornament. I'm over grinding out, I have to get to the pinnacle cap this season. Like, no, I don't. It's only 10 power. I don't feel pressured to get to it. Like, will I still earn my seal? Sure. Like, I'm still going to earn the Haunted Seal just from hanging out on the Leviathan. You know, I may have to actually put in a little bit of work to get this one done, but most of it's just kind of gimme stuff outside of, like, the public event things. There's no ridiculous exotic quest you have to go do on master difficulty or something. It's kind of the antithesis of that Risen Seal that we talked about last season. So, like, this is kind of season of the cleanup for me, but I absolutely am going to echo the comment that Clancy made about weapon RNG and crafting feeling like a second job. That is, without a doubt, the number one thing that has pushed me away from this game is crafting. Nothing has made me want to stop playing Destiny more than just how atrociously bad the drop rates are for red bordered weapons. For red borders that are actually useful, I might add. So, like, I'll paint a picture here. I really struggled last season with getting any non-guaranteed red borders that you could get out of the rewards track and out of the tiers as you upgraded your seasonal artifact at the war table. I really struggled to get any red borders. This season has been a little bit better in that regard. A little bit, not much. But last season there were 6 weapons. I was playing the expansion, so I was grinding stuff out alongside. They're like, oh, I'm gonna go run battlegrounds and I'm gonna run bounties in between doing stuff on the throne world and doing Vow of the Disciple and going and doing the new strikes and doing all the altars of reflection and things like that. I don't have that draw this season. The solution is go play a public event for hours and hours and hours and hours. This event is significantly better than Seraph Towers ever was, and I really hate the false equivalency I see being drawn with that. There are 2 areas to go to on the Leviathan, but not opening up more of it like the Undercroft week after week, like that, Callus's throne room area, like not opening those up for exploration, I think severely hurt this game.
Yeah.
Like it severely hurt this season.
Yeah.
So definitely not a fan.
Yeah, it's been I still have like a standing date to play Destiny at least once a week with Mitch, and like but like it's become our way to hang out, during the pandemic and
I mean, that's been my stance. I've said it, it's my social game.
Yeah.
So yeah, totally agree.
And when he moved and he lives farther away now, and it's just our way to keep hanging out, and if we do something fun and whatever, if we want to grind 2 or 3 times a week, then we will. But I mean, at this point it's been, Saturday nights we'll play for 2 or 3 hours, maybe do a dungeon, maybe, go do some Pinnacle stuff, maybe run the Leviathan, and then, we'll call it a night. So, I mean...
Yeah, I think the Leviathan is overall, like, and I guess I'll just go ahead and give my opinion on this now since we're discussing it. I want to go more in depth when we get later into this season and we kind of start talking about, like, a review of it. But the Leviathan, I think, to me, at best feels underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
I won't go so far to be like, oh, this is a complete catastrophe, and I understand saving oh my god, I just lost my complete train of thought. No, I understand saving things like the Gauntlet and the Undercroft and things like that for the Sever missions, but that just feels like such a missed opportunity. Like, you could have really, like, had Season of the Dead space, I feel.
Yeah.
It could have really been the Glykon, just supersized. I mean, you have the entire area from Eater of Worlds and Spire of Stars that you could have explored.
How crazy would it have been if, like, you get to the Leviathan and, like, it's just like a surprise, kind of like the nightmares were like an enemy race now, kind of like the Taken in a sense. Like,
yeah, I guess.
I mean, you could have like generic ones, but then like, I don't, and then like the boss ones could be like Gaul or, whatever.
Yeah, I kind of have gotten to the point with Gaul that he feels almost like a meme like Taniks. We just keep coming back to him. But it's been in a much shorter span of time with him.
Yeah.
At least Taniks was spread over 2 games, multiple expansions. Gaul, it's been like, oh my god, we can't get away from this guy. It's so... That's what I felt this week during the Sever mission. I was just like, man, really? We're doing Gaul again? Really?
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either.
Yeah.
The storyline was great, and that's the thing that keeps me coming back. Like, and I agree where people are saying like, oh yeah, I really like coming in for the story. I like tuning in for it. I totally agree with what Andre is saying though. I feel like I finally have hit my burnout point in trying to avoid a burnout. I've never taken more than like a 2, maybe 3 week break at a time from this game since, oh god, beginning of Season of Opulence. So 3 years now. I basically have, the longest break I've ever taken is 3 weeks, and that was like the 3 weeks right before Beyond Light, I think.
Right.
I don't think I've taken another like big break since.
Yeah.
I've taken again like a week or 2 here and there, but I was still, even on breaks, I was still logging in like once a week to at least check out Eververse or go get some quick Bright Dust and a few PvP matches. Like, it's unsustainable. I made a quip about this. I answered our own question on Twitter and says, like right now, I'm considering pulling back now so that I'm more used to it as we go into Q1 2023. because you're going to have Lightfall come out. But if release dates stay what we're expecting them to, you're going to have another Breath of the Wild game, and you're going to have Starfield, both of which are a high priority for me. So, like, no franchise gets me excited like The Legend of Zelda, and no studio, aside from Bungie, gets me hyped like Bethesda's main team. So, I'm expecting a return to form there. Like, those are both going to be games that if their predecessors were any indicator, I'm going to spend 100 hours easily in both of those. Especially if you're going to tell me that Starfield is expected to be 20 to 30% bigger than Fallout 4 and Skyrim. Like, yeah, I'm going to spend a lot of time in this game, even before expansions. Breath of the Wild, I don't know how you can make Breath of the Wild 2 any bigger, but cool. I spent 130-something hours, and I didn't even finish the DLC because I was so done with that game. So I'm just at this point praying that God of War is this year, I guess.
Yeah,
That
maybe.
give me something to break up, because there's nothing to play right now, I feel, and yet I don't find myself wanting to play Destiny. I find myself playing it once, maybe twice a week. I have been playing a lot of Fortnite otherwise. They have something new every couple weeks. There is actually a storyline going on in there. I fought Darth Vader in Fortnite this morning. Not somebody in a Darth Vader skin. I actually fought Darth Vader, the boss, and a platoon of stormtroopers in Fortnite, and it was awesome. He killed my banana using a lightsaber that he threw. It was really
your banana.
Cool. I have a banana skin. I have a Peely skin. Yes. It is. It's such a weird, wacky game, but it's just something I can pop in. There's no pressure to do good. I don't care if I win or lose.
Yeah,
I'm just there to have fun with my friends.
The no build mode makes that game infinitely more appealing to me.
Infinitely more appealing. That, and I have been playing one mode with building, Team Rumble. I don't do any building. I just burn everybody's buildings down. It's been a lot of fun, though, but I think discovering other multiplayer experiences has been really great, because I've never been a Battle Royale guy. And I feel like if you're not a Battle Royale, your multiplayer is probably dead on arrival at this point. Unless you're Call of Duty, obviously. But like Halo, I don't want to go back to Halo right now. Not that I don't like Infinite, it's just like I played so much Halo.
Right.
The first 2 or 3 months, that was the game I was playing nightly while I was waiting for Witch Queen to come out. Then Witch Queen came out, and I don't think I've picked up Halo since.
Right.
I've played very little to like maybe finish out my samurai armor, I think was it. And other than that, I bought the new pass for the season. I played 2 matches, and then I was done. Right. I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm good. I'll come back when it's a battle pass that I care about. Campaign co-op will get me back, but just this whole summer and even stretching into parts of the fall is pretty barren.
I know.
When you get to September and October, you'll have some stuff, but if you are feeling burned out, I implore you to take a break. Do not get burned out enough to where you're like, man, fuck it, I'm just going to watch Fife videos.
Yeah.
That is the point I want to avoid. I never want to get to the point where I'm like, fuck it, I'll watch Bife. Not that Bife isn't good. I tell people who have missed a couple of seasons, just go watch Bife. Don't grind it all out. Grind out the current stuff with us.
Yeah.
Go watch the Bife videos.
Yeah, that's my you know, like before we started the show, I had missed a couple seasons.
Yeah.
And I was like, if we're gonna do this, I need to catch up, because I took a couple seasons off. You know, I think I played through the Shadowkeep campaign, and then I was so burned out that I was like, I'm done right now. I gotta put it down, you know?
Yeah.
And that was at a point where, like, it wasn't keeping up weekly and doing great things weekly and, you know, that kind of thing. So, but yeah, I mean, I've been using this time to play other games. Like, I'm playing Death's Door right now, which is a fantastic game.
Death's Door is great.
Yeah. I will probably check out Fire Emblem tomorrow, even though I don't like Warriors games. I'll play like the demo and be like, well, that's no.
You'll talk yourself into spending $60.
Yeah, don't tempt me, Josh. I'll deceive myself. You know, I mean, but this is a time where I'm going to check out a backlog or catch up on some games that I played and didn't finish, or you know, I still want to play Tunic, right, which is another game that I wanted to try.
Tunic
out.
is probably my game of the year so far. Yeah.
So I'm gonna I'll check in once a week, right? Like Saturday night's my Destiny night with my friends, but I'm going to check out other games. Death's Door is fantastic, by the way. It's on sale on Switch right now. It's on Game Pass. It's great. Please play it if you like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Tunic and Death's Door are both on Game Pass. They're great. I mean, and that's kind of been what's sustaining me right now with like without a bunch of major releases, I guess. Mm-hmm. I probably will say fuck it and dive into Elden Ring this summer with just how dry everything is. I'll be like, okay, fine. You guys win. I'll play Elden Ring and I'll play Horizon Forbidden West, neither of which really appeal to me. Mm-hmm. But I'm just so desperate for a single player game right now.
Yeah.
That is current that I want to play that. So I mean, I guess I would just say that like I think it's okay. It's healthy to take a break from a game like this. Like I see so many people who play MMOs all the time. Like back in the day, a couple of my friends played nothing but World of Warcraft. And I mean nothing but World of Warcraft.
Right.
And asked me if they play WoW anymore. Yeah. No, they stopped like 10 years ago because they got so burned out. They played everything from Burning Crusade, Lich King, and oh God, what was the one that came after Lich King? I want to say Mists of Pandaria or something.
Mists of Pandaria?
Mists of Pandaria. I think that's the one that came after. Because I don't think Cataclysm came after that. I lose track of which ones came out when. But whatever the one that came out after Lich King was, that's when so many of my friends were just like, oh my God, I'm burned out. I can't do this anymore. I've played WoW for like 8 years straight. I'm paying monthly to play this game. I'm like hate playing it at this point. I can't do it anymore. And that led to a cycle of Overwatch, Diablo. Basically, the moral of the story is Blizzard games are really addicting. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to get at. Mm-hmm. But because of that, some of my friends were really leery to get into something like Destiny, and I don't blame them.
Right.
Like, even though Destiny isn't as bad with the loot boxes, like, that's what kind of cracks me up, like, having played so much Fortnite, is, like, it makes some of the Destiny complaints seem really petty and be like, oh, man, about the monetization,
Dude,
man.
the Star Wars skins are $30.
I mean, a lot of the skins are pretty expensive.
I know.
I have unashamedly bought a few, and I don't get like.
I gotta tell you though, the Onyx Master Chief skin is pretty cool because like
it's pretty great.
Because like here's the thing, I bought the Master Chief skin on my Switch, right? Because like it's just easier for me to buy stuff in that game on there for some reason. And then I logged into Xbox. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll play some Fortnite, and it's like, you've unlocked the Onyx Master Chief skin. You've unlocked the Onyx Marcus Phoenix skin. I'm like, sweet. So I got excited for Fortnite. Sorry, everybody. You can tune out now. Don't tune out. We love you.
Wait. So I guess that's probably like that's probably about it, right? Like, it's totally cool to play other games. Like, play things other than Destiny, man. Like, Andre says he's playing Cyberpunk. Man, I was trying to balance Cyberpunk with Beyond Light when they both came out. And I think I would have rather played Cyberpunk when it was fixed. Mm-hmm. But I still had a good time with it. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I had a lot of fun playing with the photo mode in that game especially.
Yeah, I played Cyberpunk on Series X. I mean, I think it was the Xbox One version at the time, but like it was it was fine. Like I didn't have any issues with it. You know, it was fun.
It wasn't the worst thing ever, but man, it is night and day now.
Yeah, part of me wants to go back.
What we played.
Part of me wants to go back and replay it to see what the quote unquote real version is. You know,
I can't do it. I absolutely cannot do it.
I mean, I'm not going to. I just said part of me wants to.
We had some other questions this week, though. So let's go ahead and let's get to some of those other questions and feedback that we had. Andre writes in saying that his mini series that he started last week with us, where we had A1 Johnny. We talked about our favorite exotic kinetics and our favorite ornament. So same question for energy, exotic, and ornament. So I'm assuming that this has to be an ornament for a special weapon.
Yeah.
Which, had I known that, I would have saved my Wither Horde answer. I mean, for me, like,
Fighting Lion.
It's literally in my intro. I have a toaster shaped like this thing at my house. It's Jotun.
He does. He does.
As for the ornament, that's kind of tricky. Um, I'll have to think on the ornament. Corey, what's your favorite? What's your favorite special weapon? Special
Telesto.
exotic.
Duh.
Oh
No.
God, because it breaks the game all the time.
No, I just Telesto's just a joke and it's funny. But I mean, man, now I gotta think. I have a. It's not my favorite, but I have a soft spot for hard light because it was my first exotic ever.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Uh, I love auto rifles, and it's actually pretty useful in Destiny 2. The way you can switch the burn on it, right? It's pretty useful. Man, but in terms of favorite
I would
energy,
almost say Divinity ekes out over Jotun for me because Divinity is such a unique exotic.
yeah, I mean Divinity's cool. Um,
I 100 like secretly love being the Divinity bitch. I love it.
we know you do. You like to complain about it, but then secretly you're like, yay.
I do complain about it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. We still keep you around. It's fine. I mean, it's funny because like what I would consider my quote unquote favorite or coolest ones are ones that are kind of worthless. Like like Lord of Wolves, I think is a really cool exotic for some reason, and it's useless. I mean, Wave Splitter is pretty fun to use sometimes, but it also kind of worthless. So I don't know. Man, I'm kind of like running through the list here again just to see if I missed anything. But man, I really like the trace rifles. Like Prometheus lens was fun that one weekend. I really like
laser
Prometheus
tag
lens.
laser tag weekend. Yeah.
So I mean I know I named 3, but those are kind of the fun ones. You know, Graviton Lance is fun sometimes.
I would say for my favorite ornament, it would have to be Bloodline Memorial for Bastion.
Mm-hmm.
Or it would have to be I had something in my mind. I have Osiris one for Prometheus lens.
Ooh. Neat.
I really like that one. It's kind of like plain because it's one of the older ornaments, but it's still like it fits the Trials theme just so good.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to like. I don't know, man. I really like. I really like Telesto. I'm not gonna lie. I really do like Telesto. It's just like I'm either using Outbreak Perfected, right, or a heavy exotic, and so I very rarely use secondary exotics. You know, so like it's I usually just pick like a garbage one if I have to. You know, but I don't even remember the last time I used an energy exotic, to be honest with you, because I'm usually either using like Gallarhorn or Sleeper Simulant or a primary, you know, and there's no room for those for energy ones in my tool set. I'm very stuck in my ways, Josh.
It's kind of how I am. I'm usually running a lot of Gallarhorn or I'm running Divinity.
Yeah.
In high end activities.
Yeah.
So Sleeper Stimulant, those all kind of work. So Andre, there's your answer for our favorites. We will see what heavy weapons have in store next week. God, I can't possibly imagine what the answer for heavy weapons is going to be.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's like the equivalent of like Kareem's Skyhook. It's just going to go in. It's like, yep, okay, Kobe it.
I bet I can guess what Josh's favorite exotic is. Favorite heavy exotic.
I swear to God, if you say it's a sword, I swear to God.
I mean, I wasn't gonna pick Black Talon, but if you insist.
I mean, listen, that pirate ornament makes me want to use it now. And then our last question tonight, Resident Dice Goblin, Sammy Gabo, writes in, we all know about the nightmares plaguing the members of the tower this season, as well as the Empress. My question is, what would your Guardian's nightmare be?
Oh, God. What would your
It's 1,000 voices. It's 1,000 voices for me. That's absolutely what it is.
Oh man, I man, I don't know. Actually, you know who it would be? It would be Skolas.
Oh no, yeah, no. Skolas probably has to be it. The only time that I beat Skolas was about 3 weeks before the Taken King came out, and I
For the
remember it was
moments of triumph.
the last moment of triumph that I needed, and a friend of mine who swore that he knew how to do Skolas got me and my best friend Matt in there. And Matt and we're pretty good. I would say we're pretty good Destiny players. We could probably, two-man some dungeons if we tried. We usually hold down to mechanics and DPS and raids, teach the encounters to people, etc. We get in there. This dude dies immediately. And I mean immediately.
I'm pretty sure I've heard this story before.
You've heard this story before because you know the person in question.
Oh, God.
He dies. The next 30 minutes, and I kid you not, is spent with the two of us running in what we coined the term as the loser lap around the arena, the biggest perimeter we can possibly make, only killing what we absolutely have to in front of us. And every once in a while, if we get enough distance, turn around and taking a pot shot at Skolas and then resuming running. We did not have enough time to stop for any reses at all, which is why it took us so long to do. This dude legitimately left his Xbox running, went and made dinner, and came back, and we were still running in circles and had not revived him.
Oh my God.
Skolas is 100%. My joke answer is 1K, but my actual real answer has to be Skolas.
Yeah, Skolas is just look.
Fuck Skolas.
Look, I know a lot of
Skolas. I see people asking for Prison of Elders. No, you have no idea what you're asking for. Pre-Taken King Skolas.
Yeah,
was awful.
Oh my God, especially like if you had somebody that wasn't max level at the time, because remember they did that weird gear leveling system, right, beforehand where it wasn't. Like the first 20 levels were your levels, but then everything after that was like a light level. And if you were not max level for Skolas, you were not going to finish it.
Dude, even if you were max level, you're probably not finishing it. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was so hard. It was so hard.
Dude, it's so bad.
I remember like I still needed to finish it. So me and my one friend who I used to do my old Destiny podcast with, we were max level and we couldn't find somebody who like needed to do it. And we found one of our friends and he was 2 light levels underneath the cap. And it was a nightmare. He was one-shotted like all the time.
Yep. That's about what happened to us. Man, it is just the absolute worst thing that could have possibly happened. Yeah. Skolas is somebody that I am eager to never see return. Seeing his nightmare in Shadowkeep legitimately was like a little triggering for me.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Pass.
It's so bad. It's so bad.